Santa Monica Studios, bro. I also started recording.
Oh. Hey, y'all.
But yo, Santa Monica Studios, bro, it's just they just know how to make a quality game. When it comes to God of War, what do you know if Santa Monica Studios has made other games? They have made. Right?
Off the top of my head, I feel like the Resistance series, but I might be bugging. I might be bugging. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, we're not a very well-researched podcast.
Yeah, I think God of War is definitely their Uncharted or their Last of Us. No?
That's true, bro. Monica.
But how long have you been playing God of War for? Like, when do you start that series?
So I started. So the whole series of God of War. My first game into it actually was, I think, Chains of Olympus on PSP. And that was literally the only God of War game I played. And then every other time I was introduced to God of War, it was at like a friend's place where he would have like either God of War 2 or 3. And I would just be like there hanging out with him as like seeing the game being played. And it was like God of War was never really a game that was on my radar when I was younger, but it was always I had friends that would tell me like, "Yo, bro, you gotta play God of War. You gotta play God of War." And when I got it for Christmas on PSP, I was like, "Okay, I see the hype, man. I see the hype. I see what they're going for with the game. I also see the different features they put into the game that was like, okay, appealing for a kid my age at that time." Yeah, that was my first intro to God of War. You?
Oh, the mini games?
Yeah, like
the mini games or something. Mm-hmm. I see what you're talking about. I think for me, we had God of War 2 for PS2, and I would have watched my brothers play it. Because it was just too difficult of a game for me. But when God of War 3 came out, I think I was like actually actively able to play that game, like do a good job. The game cracked on me, or like had a little glitch, so I had to get past the part. I ended up buying the game again, and it was like, for $20. That was a lot for me at the time.
Yeah.
That's how much I liked that game, and there was only like 2 or 3 hours left in the game. I didn't know it, YouTube wasn't popping like that, so. But that was one of my favorite games for a long time.
Yeah, because back during the time where God of War 1, 2, and 3 was out, the average price of games was like what, $40, maybe $50.
I feel like it's been $65 for a minute.
But like from God of War 3?
I think it's been like $65 for a minute.
Bruh.
For a PS3 game or like a mainline game. I think nowadays it's like $70. I feel like,
yeah, nowadays it's like 70.
I'm down the
70 or 80. But I remember like no, because God of War the series started off. Which console it came out for PS2 first, right? PS2.
Yeah.
So PS2 games, I think, was like you could get a PS2 game for like $30-$40, maybe $50. I don't think we started seeing I think you're right. We started seeing 60 when we got into like the PS3 era.
Yeah.
Damn, it's kind of crazy thinking like, yo, we're coming close to the $100 mark for video games now. It's like I see games on the PlayStation Store for like 80, 89, and then like, of course they have different bundles they put with it, but then you're like, oh wait a minute, the only thing you're selling is a bundle. So
yeah, I think it was like $60 for the game and like $5 tax. Yeah, I remember only 55. But like the graphics for the PS3 of God of War 3 was beautiful. Like I was like, how do you get better than this?
Yeah, they figured that out. Yo, it is crazy because it's like, you're right, like especially when it comes to like something like Uncharted. Like Uncharted was the first thing that kind of came to me in terms of like, oh, this is a quality game. Like first because I'm a big story guy. Like I'm really big into games with like a really in-depth, juicy story. And personally I felt like God of War 1, 2, and 3, the story wasn't the part that was really drawing me about God of War. But then we got to God of War. Then we got to the New Line series of God of War, and I'm like, oh, this story got some meat to it. But the PS3, the first when I got Uncharted, I was like, oh, this is an upgrade. This is totally different. This is like, I would remember watching certain scenes and certain cutscenes, being like, is this reality? Like, am I watching, like, how did they make this? And then it's almost like every generation is like they get closer and closer to reality, and I don't know how much closer they're gonna get, man. I don't like the PlayStation 6. I don't know what's gonna happen.
That's a fact. People only got PS5s out here, so once people start getting PS5s, and it's crazy. But like, I've seen videos of Ragnarok in like 4K, 8K. It looks like on point. What's on point? Like, I remember, like, I played Last of Us 2, right? And some of the graphics for that game was just chef's kiss. I'm trying to... Yeah. But, like, I don't know, man. I don't know how much real it could get. I know they say PC the master race, but, like, I've personally seen the PlayStation, like, I had a PlayStation growing up, PlayStation 1, all the way to the 4. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing the differences between each generation is crazy. Yeah,
it also makes you wonder, like, how much of it is just a human mind, like, filling in the gaps for it. Because I remember talking to, like, I talked to this guy at Best Buy, I think like maybe last year, and it was a really fun conversation because he was in his 60s and he was out looking for a VR headset. And he called me over and was like, hey, young man, like, I just wanted to ask your opinion on, like, what VR headset do you think would be good for me to get? And I was like, and, you know, he's kind of like had a leaner build, looked healthy, but I could tell, like, he has some age on him because he has some gray in his beard and stuff. And we had a conversation. He told me, like, he was 60, and I was like, wow, you're 60 and you're, like, still out here, like, trying to get with all the new tech and all that. He's like, yo, man, I've been a big gamer for a long time, man. Like, the first consoles that came out, man, like the Nintendo 64, like, I was really into that, right? And he was like, man, I remember when that first came out, it blew our minds, man. It blew our minds. He was like, you know, the first game that really blew my mind? I was like, what? It was like, what was it? Super Mario Sunshine? Is that the name of it? Super Mario Sunshine was the first game that blew his mind. And he was just like,
that's like open world Mario game, right?
Yeah, I think it was like the 3D aspect of it. I think that was one of the games he picked up that, like, really showed him, like, oh my gosh, like, to be able to see things in 3D and move around and do all the stuff and, like, not just be locked to, like, this 2D space. It just blew his mind, and, like, he just been seeing what's coming out nowadays, and he just, like, he can't even imagine. Right, and it's just, I think about when the PS2 came out, like, and I thought about I got Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Dexter, and I was like, yo, these games are amazing, this is fantastic. And then they kept on coming out with newer versions of it, Jack and Dexter 1, 2, 3, and seeing them improve the graphics and the quality of it. It's like looking back at it now, you know, it's like, it's funny to compare, you know, quality of the PS4, PS5 to the PS1, PS2. But the same kind of wow and amazement, the feeling of that is still the same. You know what I mean? Even though, like, you look at, like, a game, PS4, PS5, and be like, this game looks saucy, immaculate, beautiful, the pixel count is great. But then you go to PS1, PS2, and you're like, yeah, I thought that was some heat back in the day, you know? But yeah, I find that interesting. I wonder, like, how much of it is, like, us human brains being like, whoa, this is something we've never seen before. I can't believe we got to this point, and how much are we filling in the gaps for it?
Have you played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas?
I've played some Grand Theft Auto games. Did I play San Andreas? I've definitely watched gameplays of San Andreas. I've definitely, like, hung out with people that played it, but I don't think I've ever personally played GTA. Yeah.
Yeah, San Andreas came out on the PS2, and it was like one of the biggest games at the time. And follow the character CJ, and, like, Los Santos. And what was crazy about that game to me at that time was not only could you customize the character, change his outfits and everything like that, but you could go to the gym, work out, get stronger, get muscle, or don't work out, get fat. You could learn martial arts.
Oh wait, the character would actually get fat?
Yes. If you went to the pizza spot, ate pizza all day, it'd be like losing muscle mass, and you just get fat.
What?
I'm dead serious.
They put that in the game. That's hilarious. Wow.
To go to the gym to pump weights, there's like he pump to completion, and then he also like lift bicep curls and everything like that. Wow. And then there's a swimming. Like if you swam more, your cardio would increase.
Wow.
Or if you ran more, your cardio would increase.
Did that change like the game? Did that change like your gameplay? Like say for example, you chose to make your character go to the gym on a consistent basis. Would it be like when you're in combat, like you're hitting harder? Like would?
I think marginally, yes. I think it was definitely like you would run longer. Like if you're fat, you could only run for like 10 feet. But you know,
oh wow.
You run for like a whole block.
Wow, that's dope that they put that in the game, man. Wow, that's cool.
On top of car customization, you can put nitrous in your car, change the tint, change everything. So like, San Andreas was that game. Like in PS2, like I don't know how they can beat this.
Wow, man.
But you look at the graphics of it now, and it's like, okay, it's like block characters. But in the moment when you were first playing, it was like, this is a complete package.
Yeah, you know it's almost like you're comparing from what you got before, and since you don't know what you're going to get in the future, your brain just goes like, wow. And I think it's like we just do a lot of filling in for it. Like we do a lot of filling in for the graphics, because it's like even PS5 quality stuff is not real, right? But it's like it looks so good and shiny, so much better than it was before. And we're just like, oh, the newness of it, the quality is like we get an extra level of immersion now that the graphics are higher. Because like for this, so guys, for this video, we kind of wanted to use God of War as like a framework, a jumping off point to talk about different stuff in gaming and maybe dive a little bit into Kratos' character. I'm recently playing through the PS4 version of God of War, right? Playing through that right now, and man, Santa Monica Studios, you guys do an amazing job with this game. Like, I always have this funny like weeboo thing I do where I'm like, what is my weapon that I would have in like a fictional world? And that axe, bro. Yo, that axe, man. That axe and shield combo, bro. The way that Kratos uses it. Like,
how far in the game are you?
I'm not that far. Like, I really just got back into playing it yesterday. Because for me, when it comes to gaming, I have to be kind of casual now, because so much of my free time goes towards, you know, YouTube stuff and making videos and like working out. So like for me, it's like I can only focus on one game at a time, a couple sessions a week, maybe 2 hours, so like maybe three to four sessions, 2 hours each session of playing a game. So I'm very picky in the games I pick. Usually very story driven games, games that like it's almost like I'm watching an anime, right? But like I'm involved in it. So I'm very early on in the game. Fought Boulder, got through him, and I don't think we really hit any serious story beats yet. Got my axe upgraded a little bit, and just climbing up the mountain with Atreus now. So
this is the furthest you've been so far?
Yeah, bro. I was telling Dr. Griffs a little bit off podcast. Like I picked up God of War when it first came out, right? And my casual self thought it'd be a good idea to put it on the hardest difficulty, right? My casual self, guys. I've always been a casual, bro. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm not a hardcore gamer. I'm a hardcore otaku, but like I'm not a hardcore gamer. I'm a casual gamer. But I thought it'd be fun. I was like, yo, let's put it on the God of War difficulty. I'm not dude. I'm him. Bro, I couldn't get past the first mob.
Why would you do that? Why?
And I was like, wait, can I change this back? And I realized that I can't. Once you pick the hardest difficulty, you can't turn it off. And I was like, okay, do I restart the game or do I commit to this? And I was like, I'm him, so I'm going to commit to this. I'm not going to turn back. Bro, a casual like me, that was a bad choice, bruh. A casual like me, that was a bad choice. And there's other games I was playing at the time. I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh, really into Pokemon, so I will be playing that.
They have Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh games for PS4?
No, not for PS4. Like I have a Nintendo Switch too, so like
gotcha.
Yeah, so I would bounce between my Nintendo Switch and the PS4 at the time, and yeah, I just folded myself with that, bro. I folded myself, dropped the game. I was like, man. And even the only other God of War game I got into before was Chains of Olympus for PSP, and like the type of hack and slash game of it, like the gameplay of it it spoke to me back then, but it wasn't speaking to me now. So when I was like putting all that stuff together for God of War, it didn't really add up to like, am I going to really try to surpass being him in order to just struggle through this game? Like, there's a reason why I don't pick up Dark Souls games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, even though I respect it and I love watching gameplay for it. Shout out to Afro Sedru. But when it comes to me playing it myself, I like enjoying games. I like feeling like a powerhouse while I'm playing a video game. You know, I don't.
So clarification. You restarted the game, right?
Yes.
What difficulty are you on now?
I'm on balance, bro. I'm casual, bro. I'm casual. I'm not even gonna lie. Even when I beat this game and I go to Ragnarok, we'll see. I'm casual right now, bro. I enjoy the plethora of health droplets they drop for me, bro. I enjoy the hack silver everywhere. I enjoy it, man. I'm good. I'm trying to feel like the God of War. Let me feel like the God of War.
Gotcha.
But I'm enjoying it, and I feel like I didn't put it on the easiest setting. I just put it on what they consider the standard, and the balance between story and the combat. And I'm still struggling a little bit, and I'm still having fun with it. And there's certain characters that I'm like, oh, I got to implement different strategies for. So I'm still really enjoying it. But man, yeah, if that makes me look at axes totally differently, bro. Because to me, I was always like a sword kind of spear kind of person. But the axe, bro, like the way Kratos uses it, bro.
Fair. Well, I ain't gonna spoil nothing, but I am a huge fan of the axe.
The Leviathan axe, bro. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Leviathan axe or the what's it called? The chains?
Blades of
Chaos?
Yeah.
Which one do you guys prefer? Because I'm right now, I haven't unlocked the Blaze of Chaos yet, but the axe is slapping for me right now. That axe is slapping.
It's gonna be a minute before you unlock the Blaze of Chaos.
Hey, I'm okay, man. I'm okay with that. So kind of like interesting. It's kind of interesting to look at Kratos' character a little bit as he changes from game to game.
Yeah.
I think his character kind of stays pretty much the same from 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. I think he gets angrier as each game goes on.
Yeah,
for sure.
It does, right?
And each time it makes more sense why he's angrier. Like at the end of God of War 1, he was content with deleting himself. Then they brought him back to life, and he was like, why would you do this? And they're like, we have a throne you need to fill. And he was like, well, fine, I don't serve y'all, but I'll take the throne. Beginning of God of War 2, like, he has Sparta. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have he definitely doesn't have his family, you know what I'm saying? His family's with him, but
his family's always with him.
But I think the only thing he really had that he was like that he liked was Sparta, and he kind of liked Athena. You know what I'm saying? He's a Spartan. He's biased.
Yeah,
like, I'm from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Like, I want to rep the Bronx. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then he got too power hungry, and he kept helping Sparta win wars. And Zeus them was tired. They're tired of him, so they set him up and destroyed most, if not all, of Sparta.
Yeah.
So then now he has his vengeance. Like he wasn't. He got his vengeance at the end of God of War 1.
Yes.
I feel like he was just moving around aimlessly in the beginning of God of War 2. There's no like clear distinction of how much time has passed between God of War 1 and God of War 2. It could be centuries, it could be a decade, it could be a couple years.
Yeah.
I feel like he was chilling. Like he was always like hyper tight. Like he's always yelling.
Even with the Spartan training that like they kind of kept from history and put into the game is like that does not make an emotionally balanced person. Like just like like Spartans in general, how they were trained and raised, like anger is their predominant. That's their first trigger. You know, and it makes sense for like like the world that they live in and what they have to do. So yeah.
You know about his brother, right?
Yep. I think in one of the games, right, he tried to save him or try to go into Hades to get him, and then his brother was like angry with him. I might be remembering some details a little bit off, but yeah.
But they were looking for a child with a scar. They said a child with a scar is going to take over, or with a tattoo, or mark. He said a person with a mark is going to take over Olympus or bring it to ruin. And his brother had a giant birthmark.
Yes.
So they thought it was him, but when they pimp slapped him, he got a scar across his face.
Yeah.
And then he eventually got the tattoo, so it was actually him.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
I like that. I like that little story twist they kind of put in there. Well, it's more towards the beginning, but
yeah,
I like that being like, oh yeah, you thought it was him, but you actually created him. It's kind of like that kind of time loop kind of thing. A prophecy says this happens, and then you create it. It's kind of crazy.
They love doing that. They love doing that in these in these games.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kratos, he understandably was a pretty like angry guy for a while, and I think God of War 2 was probably the angriest he's been. Well, towards the end of God of War 2, when Athena, well, spoiler alert, Athena sacrifices herself to save Zeus, and then Athena, while she's dying, is like, Zeus is your father. And he's like, huh? He's like, you know. And then God of War 3 is all about him just taking down the Olympian pantheon. Yeah. And then there's a beautiful scene in God of War 3. I might put like a clip of his face in there, where Zeus. Well, there's this girl, Pandora. She's about to fly into the fire, and then Kratos is holding on to her, and she's like, let me go. Zeus is like, hold on to her, and Kratos is doing that, and then Zeus is like, don't fail her like you failed your family. For once in your lifetime, be a good dad. Kratos' face goes ballistic, lets her go, runs over, starts like punching down Zeus.
Yeah, I bet Zeus, I know you ain't talking about being a good dad. I know you ain't talking. Wow. Zeus
violated, and then it seems like Kratos didn't even realize that he let the person go that he was holding on to.
Wow.
It just clicked, because when he got up, he's like, oh crap, where did she go? And then Zeus put some insult to injury after that, like, he did all that for nothing, and he just like, Kratos' facial animations in God of War 3 is perfect.
Yo, at any point in the series so far, because I feel like the general series a little bit more, like I think at a higher level than me, is do you feel like at any point Kratos, you wildin'?
Oh yeah. There's definitely moments in God of War 3 where he was wildin'. He was like, I feel like Hercules fight, he ain't really want to fight Hercules like that. Hercules stepped to him, he was like, Hercules was like, you're clearly Zeus's favorite son, and Kratos was like, are you crazy?
How, like, Sway? How?
He's like, he named you God of War. He was like, Hercules, I really got time for this. Then Hercules wanted to fight. He fought him. What's the Zeus's wife's name?
Athena?
No, that's his daughter. Zeus's wife.
Hera? No.
Hera, yeah. He was gonna leave her alone, But she kept this like mocking him, saying, "You little." Well, she didn't say that. She kept like getting on his nerve, and he just like choked her out, and then like.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that scene. Like, it's like, bro, she was just a random. Like, she's not. I shouldn't say she was like a random person, but it's like the way that scene played out. He literally walked past her, was like, "Shut up," and I'm like. Yeah, unnecessary. You didn't have to do all that. You could have just walked past it, ignored it. Yeah.
This series of Kratos, like, I mean, there were guys he wasn't really trying to, like, most guys he killed attacked him, provoked him. There's Helios, who's like in his way and making fun of him. So he's like, you know what? He chopped his leg off, and Kratos is not a good guy, but I feel like some of his actions in God of War 3 was understandable. In this new God of War, it's interesting seeing how calm he's trying to be. Like the first one, he's always like, "Zeus, your son has returned, and I bring destruction of Olympus." Like, you know what I'm saying? He's just like.
Yeah,
like, he might be like a silverback gorilla. Like, he's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But in the new God of War, he's trying to be chill, and Atreus is just be on his nerves. Like,
yo, this kid, like, I'm playing the first game, and I'm like, this kid is annoying, bro. This kid, like, relax, bro. Like, relax. Just listen to your dad. But I would see, you know, the scenes that be like, really be like, make me like get invested. It's like whenever you get a scene, I think we had 2 scenes so far in my playthrough right now, where
your first 5 minutes.
It's not 5 minutes. It's like literally like maybe 2.5 hours, right?
Okay.
Like like you'll see Atreus looking out to something or looking at something, and then Kratos is right like behind him towards the side, and you see Kratos at times reaching his hand, like almost like there's a. It's like I feel for you, son. I want to be there to show that I care about you. But then he goes like, no, I must make him stronger. I must make him more capable. So even though I want to show love and comfort to him, that potentially might make him weak, and he needs to be strong. Like, I feel like Kratos is just trying to do like the most idealized version of what fatherhood is, like to the farthest extreme, where he's like, I must prepare you for when I'm gone, and like showing you even a little bit of comfort might make you just not there, you know, because I feel like he's looking at his life in terms of like all the things he's had to challenge and face, and he's like, the moment I let my guard down, bruh, the moment I let my guard down is when I lost my family, when I lost everything, like when I started trusting people too much. So I think I think there's that pull of like, I love my son, I want to show comfort to him, but I have to make sure he's strong. Like I can't have any doubt that he's weak, you know?
I have I slightly disagree.
Okay.
I agree, but I slightly disagree, but I feel like my disagreements will be in some type of spoiler territory. So I'll try not to. Okay,
you do your thing, man. Work the needle.
I think in God of War and in Ragnarok, it seems as if Kratos he's kind of disgusted by himself.
Yeah. Even when the first scenes where he's like wrapping up his wrists, you could kind of tell the level of tiredness, disdain he kind of has to like the scars and things he has from imbuing the chains. Yeah. And
I think he thinks he's kind of contagious, and he doesn't want to like give that to his son.
Right.
So he struggles with. First off, he wasn't raised with. He wasn't raised with his dad.
Yeah.
His brother was kidnapped at a young age. His mom. I don't know if you know. He deleted his mom. I don't know if you know that. She was like turned into like a parasite type thing, and he ain't know. He had to fight her. Then he realized that his mom, and Zeus like put a spell on her. Like it was a lot of his family just up. And then he viciously deleted Zeus at the end of God of War 3. So like his familial bonds are all types of messed up.
Yeah,
so I think
yeah.
he's scared to imbue that on his now new child in probably centuries of time. And also, I find it interesting that Kratos, of all people, this is a mini but major spoiler. He never hits Atreus, especially in God of War 2018. And Atreus be wildin'. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like when Atreus, when this man was like, when they fought against the first, like, I guess mini boss, that like that troll.
Yeah.
And then Atreus is just like the troll's like done, and Atreus is still going wildin'. And seeing how Kratos handles it, and I feel like based on what we know about Kratos, it's like, yo, Kratos handled that in a very good way based on his track record. Like,
yeah,
you know, yeah, I do. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, would you assume based on Kratos's track record and how he was brought up and everything, would he be the type of father to, you know, just physically discipline his kid? And you definitely know he was physically disciplined every day.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like interesting that he doesn't do that with Atreus.
There was like his first child was a girl, so like he was very like loving. The scenes you've seen of him with her, he was very like foddery and all that. So it makes sense that he wouldn't, you know, hit his daughter. But in terms of Spartans growing up, that's like part of it. And there's a scene in Ragnarok where I guess slight spoiler.
Okay. Yeah.
Atreus is like, yo, you're a Spartan, right? And Kratos is like, yes, I am. And he's like, yo, you were raised kind of tough, right? And Kratos is like, yes, I was. And he's like, why didn't you do that to me? And he was like, I think you didn't need to be raised like that. I want you to be raised better. I said, ow! Like
fodder level. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like there's a level of distance that Kratos always had with Atreus. Like in the first game. Yeah, because like my roommate, he got Ragnarok, so like sometimes I'll sit in with him and see things. But like anytime like a major spoiler would come out, I'll try to leave and try to wash my brain. But in all the scenes I've seen with Ragnarok, he's literally calling him Atreus. In the first game, boy. So it's like that level of like distance.
Yeah.
And oh man, I love the first scenes of Ragnarok, bro, where you just see Atreus hunting, like basically you know that moment where you're basically you've done all your chores before your parent even has a chance to say it. You mastered all your parents' combos, and you just like ultra instinct with the zone with it. And your parent has no choice but to go like, yo. When Kratos did that, I was like, yo. But let Atreus see it though. Let Atreus look at your face, see you do that, bro. Like, damn, man.
Yo, Atreus is wild, annoying in Ragnarok. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
he's a teenager. It's just
like he's got that teen angst going on.
He got the no dad.
Yo,
I've seen Kratos call Atreus boy one time
in Ragnarok.
Yes, and Atreus deserved it. So I don't know, yeah. I think we like seeing the progression of technology of these like the video game industry from God of War 2 or God of War 1 all the way to where it is now. It's just beautiful to see, and y'all are lucky if y'all like teen something, 20 something, and this is like the beginning of your video game journey. That's crazy.
Because I feel like at this point right now, and I feel like we're gonna start wrapping it up, guys. But at this point right now, it's like you could kind of low key, you could kind of go back to PS2 games and still enjoy the graphics and the story of the game. So I feel like the gaming, the amount of options for people getting into gaming now is just massive. I do feel like there is a drawing off point, unless you're like a gaming connoisseur. that you'll like, oh no, like yo, bro, like you know, like Pong, like I love that game, like you know. But I do feel like when you get to that GameCube era, and I feel like Nintendo's the best one for this because Nintendo knows how to make really fun games while not really pushing the graphical fidelity to its maximum capacity. So it's like, I think you could kind of like GameCube, PlayStation 2, that era till now is like, if you're getting into gaming now, you'll never run out of things to do. You know what I mean? Never. Like, it's just good.
We're at the point where we just don't have enough time to play games. Such is life.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you all for watching. Please leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Our links are in the bio. Let us know what's been your favorite God of War game in this series. What's been your favorite console in this series? Yeah.
All right.
Thoughts?
Yeah, that's it for me, man. You concluded it pretty well, brother.
Try. I take notes from the guy, from him.
This guy's crazy. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Do all of that fun YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. And also let us know what topics or ideas you want us to kind of get into that you find that'll be fun to discuss, and we'll definitely be entertaining those. So this is Dr. Griffs, and bam, peace.